As of March 8, 2023, approximate prices for Type NM cable sizes 14-2 with ground range from 40 cents to 60 cents per foot, and 12-2 with ground range from 50 cents to 70 cents per foot. These prices are subject to change and influenced by several key factors. Firstly, location significantly impacts the cost. Prices will vary based on geographic region due to differences in transportation costs, local demand, and regional regulations. Secondly, the retailer plays a crucial role. Large national chains may offer different pricing compared to smaller, local electrical suppliers. It is always wise to compare prices from multiple sources. Thirdly, the quantity purchased affects the price. Purchasing in bulk often leads to lower per foot costs due to volume discounts. Consider your project's needs to determine if buying a larger quantity is economically advantageous. Current market conditions are another important consideration. Fluctuations in the price of copper, a primary component of NM cable, can directly impact the overall cost. Economic factors, supply chain disruptions, and seasonal demand can also contribute to price variations. The type of NM cable also influences the price. NMB cable, the most common type, is typically less expensive than older NM cable types. Always ensure you are comparing prices for the same type of cable. The brand can also be a factor, with some brands carrying a premium price due to perceived quality or reputation. Checking multiple brands for their pricing can provide cost savings. Another aspect to consider is the specific gauge of the wire. Lower gauge numbers indicate thicker wires, which can handle higher currents and will generally be more expensive. The number of conductors also affects the price. Cables with more conductors will typically cost more. For example, a 40-3 cable will be more expensive than a 40-2 cable. The insulation material and its thickness influence the price, as better insulation increases safety and durability. Cables designed for specific applications, such as those with enhanced moisture resistance, may also be more expensive. The jacket material surrounding the cable contributes to the overall cost, as some jacket materials are more durable and resistant to environmental factors. The presence of a ground wire is also a pricing factor. Cables with a ground wire, denoted as W/G, are essential for safety and are generally required by electrical codes. These will be priced differently than cables without a ground wire, if those even exist for NM-type cable. The length of the cable reel or spool impacts the per foot cost. Longer reels often offer a lower per foot price compared to shorter lengths. Consider the overall length needed for your project to optimize cost effectiveness. Different retailers may offer varying warranties on their NM cable products. Longer warranties can provide added peace of mind, but they may also be reflected in the price. Sales and promotions can significantly affect the price of NM cable. Keep an eye out for discounts and special offers from local suppliers and hardware stores. Online retailers can also be a good source for finding competitive prices. Be sure to factor in shipping costs when comparing online prices to local options. Local electrical codes and regulations may dictate the type and size of NM cable required for your project. Ensure you are purchasing the correct cable to comply with these requirements. The labor costs associated with installation can also influence your overall project budget. Consider whether you will be performing the installation yourself or hiring a qualified electrician. The cost of permits and inspections should also be factored into the overall project expenses. These costs can vary depending on your location and the scope of the work. The tools and equipment needed for installation can add to the total cost. Ensure you have the necessary tools such as wire strippers, cable cutters, and voltage testers before starting your project. Safety precautions are paramount when working with electricity. Always disconnect power before working on electrical circuits and wear appropriate safety gear, such as gloves and eye protection. The potential for future expansion or modifications should be considered when selecting NM cable. Choosing a slightly larger gauge than initially required can provide flexibility for future upgrades. The ease of installation can also be a factor. Some types of NM cable are easier to work with than others, which can save time and effort during installation. The availability of the specific type and size of NM cable you need can impact the price. If a particular cable is in high demand or short supply, the price may be higher. The reputation and reliability of the supplier are important considerations. Choose a reputable supplier with a track record of providing high-quality products and excellent customer service. The environmental impact of NM cable production and disposal is becoming increasingly important. Look for cables that are manufactured using sustainable practices and can be recycled at the end of their lifespan. Consider the long-term durability and performance of the NM cable. Investing in a high-quality cable may result in lower maintenance and replacement costs over time. The potential for damage from rodents or pests should be considered. Some NM cables are designed with rodent-resistant jackets to prevent damage. The temperature rating of the NM cable is important for ensuring safe operation. Ensure the cable is rated for the temperature range in which it will be installed. The voltage rating of the NM cable must be appropriate for the electrical system in which it will be used. Using a cable with an insufficient voltage rating can be dangerous. The ampacity of the NM cable, which is its current carrying capacity, must be sufficient for the circuit in which it will be used. Using a cable with an insufficient ampacity can lead to overheating and fire. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. Ensure the NM cable is properly grounded to prevent electrical shock hazards. Regular inspections of electrical wiring can help identify potential problems before they become serious. Schedule regular inspections by a qualified electrician to ensure your electrical system is safe and reliable. When replacing existing NM cable, be sure to disconnect the power and carefully remove the old cable. Follow all safety precautions and consult with a qualified electrician if you are unsure about any aspect of the replacement process. Proper labeling of electrical circuits is essential for safety and troubleshooting. Label each circuit breaker and corresponding wiring to avoid confusion. The use of surge protectors can help protect your electrical equipment from damage caused by power surges. Install surge protectors at the main electrical panel and at individual outlets to provide comprehensive protection. Consider the aesthetic appearance of the NM cable, especially in exposed locations. Choose a cable color that blends in with the surrounding environment. The flexibility of the NM cable can be important in certain applications. Choose a cable that is flexible enough to be easily routed through tight spaces. The weight of the NM cable can be a factor in long runs. Choose a lighter weight cable to reduce the strain on supporting structures. The ease of termination can be important for efficient installation. Choose a cable that is easy to strip and connect to electrical devices. The availability of technical support from the manufacturer or supplier can be helpful if you encounter any problems during installation or operation. The compliance of the NM cable with industry standards, such as those set by UL or CSA, is important for ensuring safety and performance. The use of appropriate connectors and fittings is essential for making secure and reliable electrical connections. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for installing connectors and fittings. The proper support and securing of NM cable is important for preventing damage and ensuring long-term reliability. Use cable staples or other approved methods to support the cable at regular intervals. Avoid running NM cable through areas where it may be subject to physical damage. If necessary, protect the cable with conduit or other protective measures. Keep NM cable away from sources of heat or moisture. Exposure to excessive heat or moisture can damage the cable and create a safety hazard. Avoid overloading electrical circuits. Overloading can cause the NM cable to overheat and potentially start a fire. Use a circuit breaker or fuse with the correct amperage rating to protect the circuit. Regularly check electrical outlets and switches for signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged outlets or switches immediately. If you are unsure about any aspect of electrical wiring, consult with a qualified electrician. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is always best to err on the side of caution. Remember to always disconnect power before working on electrical circuits and wear appropriate safety gear. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your electrical wiring is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable codes and regulations. It is highly recommended to contact a local electrical supplier or hardware store for the most up-to-date and accurate pricing information, as well as to ensure you are selecting the appropriate cable for your specific application and local code requirements. Remember that online prices might not reflect local market conditions or include all applicable taxes and fees. Consulting with a qualified electrician can also provide valuable insights and ensure your project is completed safely and efficiently. These professionals can assess your specific needs and recommend the best type and size of NM cable for your project, as well as provide guidance on proper installation techniques. Furthermore, remember to consider the long-term costs associated with electrical wiring, including maintenance, repairs, and potential upgrades. Investing in high-quality NM cable and professional installation can save you money and headaches in the long run. When comparing prices, be sure to factor in the cost of all necessary materials, including connectors, fittings, and mounting hardware. These costs can add up quickly, so it is important to have a complete picture of the overall project expenses. Additionally, consider the environmental impact of your electrical wiring choices. Look for NM cable products that are manufactured using sustainable practices and can be recycled at the end of their lifespan. By making informed decisions about your electrical wiring, you can ensure that your home or business is safe, energy efficient, and environmentally responsible. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity and consult with qualified professionals when needed. Following these recommendations can help you make informed decisions about purchasing NM cable and ensure a successful electrical project.